The masculine is the consciousness of all consciousness, eternal. The Shakti is the feminine, that is the temporal. It is the energy, it is the intention, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the combination of the two, typically the Shakti is expressed in the Kundalini of the individual person, which makes us so unique. That energy that comes through only as Brooke.
Mm-hmm.
And the merging of the feminine and the masculine is where that true
nature,
uniqueness comes out, or your true nature.
Yeah.
And that is the blooming.
Yes.
That is the unfolding of your true self.
Hey you, Brooke Jean here with Brooke Jean unPerfected. I'm a licensed professional counselor, coach, mama, and your keep it real guide to the freedom that's available to you in a life unperfected. If you're a high-achieving, perfectionistic, often anxious woman feeling stuck, frozen, and maybe even downright frustrated, you're in the right place. If you're anything like me, you've done everything society told you to do that would promise you success. You've got the job, you've got the husband, you've got the car, you've got the vacations, you've got the 401k, and yet underneath it all, when you're really honest with yourself, you're deeply disconnected and unfulfilled. Here is where we talk about letting go of who you think you're supposed to be so that you can get busy creating a life that you actually love. Everything healing, revealing, and rising is on the table. And we don't hold anything back around here. So buckle up, babe, because you are entering a vortex of your most juicy transformation. One where we dethrone perfectionism so you can access more energy, creativity, and vitality. I am so happy and grateful that you are here. Hey beauty, welcome back to the unPerfected Pod. I am so happy and grateful that you are here. This week's episode is a really, really vulnerable one. This last year, 2024 and going into 2025, I have been on a next level healing, revealing, and rising journey. And I have been investing in all sorts of different modalities to support the growth and evolution of my mind, body, and spirit. And so I had met this queen, Ashley Douglas, a few years ago. I had hosted a retreat for her and some other companies' best clients. And I knew right away when we met that there was like a kismet connection. Like I had this feeling that I'd met her before, but in this space, she was like the head of marketing for a construction company. I had no idea that she had intuitive gifts and that she was actually a psychic medium. And recently I was thinking about her. She was thinking about me at the exact same time. And we shared the story in the interview, but she came back into my world and disclosed with me that she had psychic gifts and that she actually had a message for me from my spirit guides. And this year, actually the end of last year into this year, I have felt more connected spiritually to spiritual guides than I ever have before. And while I still am unpacking what this all means and what exactly this is, I have always actually felt connected. And so I invited Ashley into my home podcasting studio to give me a live psychic and mediumship reading. And whoa, was it intense. And I'm publishing this so you all can see, number one, like I pull from all the different modalities. I love therapy. I love Reiki. I love energy healing. I love psychic mediums. I love church. I love prayer. I love yoga. I love meditation, visualization, breath work. Like I am a fan of combining all the modalities and finding a few that are really helping my growth and evolution at this moment in time. And so that's why I want to normalize pulling from all the different modalities. Also, I want to showcase how gifted Ashley is. It was so extraordinary to see her in her gift. And we cover all sorts of deep things, which, my mission is to normalize normal. As a therapist, as a coach, as a teacher, as a mentor, as a guide, I want to normalize that I'm a human just like you who is navigating this messy world right alongside you, shoulder to shoulder. So please show me a lot of grace here. And let me give you Ashley's official bio. Ashley Douglas is a gifted psychic and medium with a natural ability to connect with the spirit world. From a young age, she recognized her unique spiritual gifts, which she has since refined to bring healing and comfort to others. Ashley channels messages of peace, clarity, and healing from loved ones who have passed, providing a sense of connection and closure. As a certified Reiki practitioner, she combines her intuitive insights with the healing energy to restore balance and promote emotional and physical well being. With a compassionate heart, Ashley is dedicated to guiding others on their journey toward healing and wholeness. And I have to say, so much of that is exactly what showed up in our session. After we turned off the cameras and the microphone, she did some Reiki on my solar plexus, my sacral, my body, and my stomach. And I could feel the energy moving just from her hands being placed there. So whether you believe in this stuff or not, whether you believe in energy or not, I love you, but I also encourage you to have an open mind, because the day that I decided to be open to things outside of what I had currently experienced and believed in is the day that my life started to get really freaking interesting. So enjoy this conversation, enjoy this live reading, and I hope there's a nugget in it that really serves you and your growth and your healing journey at the same time. Enjoy. All right, Ashley, I am so excited to do this with you.
Yes.
I feel a little nervous and a little excited. It's like what does my daughter call it? Nerve-sighted.
Nerve-sighted. I'm nerve-sighted
Are
myself.
you nerve-sighted too?
But it's not me on display here. It's you on display. So it's good.
Okay, so our paths have been really randomly intermingling in just the most kismet of ways.
Yes.
So it's not surprising that we're having this conversation now. But when I met, you were kind of doing the corporate girly thing, right?
Corporate girl, man.
Right?
Or at least I was trying to be. I was pretending to be.
Yeah, you were like head of marketing at this construction company.
Yep.
Your company hired us, Megan and I, to come in and help you with a retreat for your clients.
Which was lovely, by the way.
That was so fun, the glamping retreat.
So fun. Hire Brooke Jean and her team. They're amazing.
That was so fun. But you were doing your thing there, right? Yep. And randomly you were popping into my consciousness.
Yes.
Because I was just thinking about who would be smart to collaborate with and partner with. And I knew that you had moved on and you were doing something else, but I didn't know exactly what it was. And then I saw that you had peeped my profile on LinkedIn, and I was full body chills. Immediately was it's almost like you're did she know that I was thinking about her?
You must have been putting out the signal.
Did she see that I was I stalking her? I don't remember if I actually did before that or not. I just know that you were floating in my mind. And then you reached out and said, you're circling in my awareness, and I think it's time to connect. And also I have a message for you. Are you open?
I was so scared too, because and kudos to you for being open. I always like to ask, but when you come out, being the corporate girl, when you come out with a message for somebody, they're usually and so kudos to you for being open. Amazing.
Yeah. So tell the beautiful listener, when we say you had a message for me, what type of message was that? Because we're going to get into your gift.
Yeah. So Brooke's family came into me loud and proud. I was going to say loud and clear, and they said
loud
proud.
And proud. I'm just not surprised.
In a good way, right?
Okay.
And so Brooke's just energy had been in my orbit for days, and I had just been thinking about it, and I didn't know why. And I was like, I just need to connect with her. Mm-hmm. I have no clue why I need to connect with her, but I do. Yeah. And then when I reached out, or when I had started to reach out on LinkedIn, then the message came in, and I was like, oh my gosh, because I think I'd messaged you first and then sent you a really long one after that. And I'm like, oh, I hope I'm not a stalker, but here it is. Right?
Oh, and I am always down for the support. And one thing that a lot of people know about me, but some people might not know about me, is I've always felt very connected to spirit. Mm-hmm. Ever since I was little.
Cool.
I remember like my sister being born. She was born with a brain tumor, and it was like a really hard thing for our family. And she lived and survived even though she was not supposed to. It was like year after year, she
Wow.
was not going to make the next Christmas, the next Easter, the next whatever. And I just believed that she was an angel on earth here to teach us extraordinary lessons, because she's one of those kids that, she was legally blind, and she'll never be able to do all of these things that quote unquote normal kids were able to do. But she was the happiest, like go lucky, like everybody loves Carly Jean. Like she touches every person that comes in her field,
That's cool.
like deeply. And so I believe that she was an angel on earth. And I even
Yeah.
got a tattoo of an angel, like her in form of an angel on my side when I was like 18. And then I went to college and I got really disinterested in organized religion. And that pulled me out of that realm for a while. And I was just learning and growing. But it wasn't long after that I got pulled back in and just had felt spirit, was seeing spirit, was getting signs, messages, all of it in college. And I would say in the last like year, maybe two, I've been really opening up to what this is, very curious. I have my morning date with the divine every single morning.
Mm.
And I know, that I'm very held and protected spiritually.
Amazing.
So
Yeah.
when somebody like you, I didn't even see like as part of that spirit realm, right?
Yeah.
Saw you as this corporate badass leader, came in and was like, I have a message from spirit for you. I was like, give it to me, baby. Yes. Always give me the message.
Right. Same. That's incredible. And I love that, like, we've been through this pattern in our lives. I think you and I have a lot in common in that way, from the corporate world and bringing this more kind of spiritual side into integrating into our day-to-day life. But it was always there. Right. And spirit shows you throughout the awakening process where it was always there for you, which is really cool. In those moments where you thought you turned away and you thought you were gone from it, it's like, okay, that's fine. But I was still there, picking up the pieces of whatever mess you were making at the time.
Oh,
talking to me, not you.
yeah.
Right.
And they held me. Like, I remember I had made some pretty rough decisions in college,
Yeah.
and I got in a pretty bad car accident when I think I was 19 or 20. I like rolled off the highway 3 times in a car with no seatbelt on at 3 a.m. And I was like found in my trunk of my Pathfinder without I walked out of the hospital that morning.
Wow.
And they were like, you should be dead. I rolled off I-25 into the ditch 3 times. And I was like, there's no way to describe that other than I was held that night and I have something important to do.
Yeah. Did you have an NDE at all? Did you have any sort of experience of no?
I did not have an NDE.
Yeah.
I did go unconscious and I woke up in the hospital, but I knew it was like when I like came to with like hearing the nurses talk about it, and I just knew like, and then when I walked out, like still in my like hoochie mama outfit from going out that night, it was like 25-cent sakis at the bar in Boulder.
Walk of shame out of the hospital.
Walk of shame, bitch. I had like an open back, crisscross, fucking. Nice. I mean, literally, it was actually terrifying, and something I deeply regret, but we've worked through that. I remember walking out in my outfit without a broken bone, being like, that's what? Like, I'm held and I need to get it together for this.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So, okay, tell us about your gift. So, how message comes through for you? Like, tell us everything you're comfortable to share with us about your gift.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity to share that. So I've always known that I've had some sort of something. And I want to say, before I start sharing this, there's a lot of people who have a gift like this. We all have it. We all have this. It just needs to be developed if you'd so like to do it, right? So if your story and your gift is not exactly expressing like mine, it doesn't mean you don't have it. I used to watch other people express their intuitive gifting, and if mine wasn't exactly like theirs, I'd think, oh, maybe I don't really have it. It's not the case. We all have this ability. It's called parapsychology. It is something we're born with, right? Anyway, I've always been a little more in tune to it. and, spent a lot of time as a child very anxious, and now learned that that is typically when I'm getting messages coming in. And so learning how to control that and tune in when those things happen. And so it was probably about 4 years ago, 5 years ago now, where the first like actual person from the other side came through. I was always getting kind of like dreams and messages and things like that, but somebody from the other side finally came through, and now it's more I see them in my mind's eye, and I kind of have a knowing that kind of shows up, a knowingness. So it's a little bit of a combination of both. Everybody has a different way it comes through for them, right? So if yours comes through in the form of signs and symbols and things like that, that's great. Mine is just usually just a knowingness. The person will pop into my awareness, and I don't know how to tell you, but I know who it is. I just know I know who it is, and I know who it's connected to.
Wow.
So the first person that came through, she had taken her life, and I knew her parents, but I never met her. I didn't even know they had a daughter. And I had heard their daughter had passed, and I was like, "Oh, that's weird." And one day I'm curling my hair in the bathroom, and it used to happen mostly when I was curling my hair. I think mostly because I just was like doing something where my mind was not
Open.
Yeah, exactly. So she came through, and I knew who she was. And she had a message for them. And we have a mutual friend who I went to, and I said, "Hey, here's the message." And I mean, this is the first time this has come through. And this is a spiritual group. And I'm going to the leader of this group, expecting them to be like, "This is the devil."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I had grown up in that environment where like intuitive gifting was, witchcraft, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry to anyone who has experienced that, because that's not the truth at all. So she came through, and I said, "Here's the deal. This is what I got for these people." And he was like, "Oh, yeah, this is totally normal. This is great." This was Mike.
No
This was Mike.
way. I
Yeah.
just got goosebumps.
Yeah. So I went to Mike and I said, "Hey, here's what happened." And he was like, "Oh my gosh, this is beautiful." Yeah. And he's like, "I think you should go share that with them." And we were all getting together later that night, and I went and shared it with them, terrified, because when somebody's loved one comes through, this is typically their deepest sadness.
Totally.
And so, I want to be sure that the message I'm delivering is on point, because the last thing I want to do is use somebody's deepest sadness to hurt them.
Totally.
So there's a big responsibility that comes with this, right? And so that's why I wanted to confirm with him. Anyway, long story, a lot longer. I went to them, and they just cried. And it was totally what they needed to hear. And I actually just saw them a couple of weeks ago, and they've seen kind of the things that are coming out with it. And they said, "Yeah, we remember when our daughter came through for you." And I said, "She was the first one."
Wow.
I said, "So I'm really grateful for her, that she was the one to start this whole thing, right?" And I'm really grateful to people in my life who said, "Hey, this is okay. This is normal. You're not nuts." Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because this was like a religious group.
Yes. I grew up very religious.
Okay.
And through the path of awakening, I guess, and everybody's path is unique. And if you're still religious, good for you. All of that just needs to be based in love, huh?
Yeah.
So, anyway, with this religious group, we were kind of all awakening together. It was really beautiful. And we've all simultaneously come out of religion together. It's
Wow.
absolutely incredible.
Wow.
And so, Mike has this kind of group that he talks to as well, still, but like most of these people have come totally out of religion.
Wow.
And so he talks to people who are kind of refugees of religion a lot, who are, rejecting it. And it's amazing to see that like the things that you learned growing up in religion, it was all just pointing back to spirit. The scriptures were pointing back to spirit. It wasn't talking about worshiping something outside of yourself, right? And when you can see it from the real angle, it kind of heals the experience you had when you were younger, right? So I'm just abundantly grateful to him for encouraging me. And he's always just made it very normal. And in fact, he calls and asks me my advice, and things come through. He's like, he trusts me. And so, yeah, I can't be more like, what a treasure
Wow.
in my life is Mike, right?
Yeah.
So now these messages have been coming through, and I've learned it is like learning a language. And so I want to encourage anybody who's like exploring this gifting or wanting to learn more about it, just be patient, because sometimes it's not right. Sometimes your head is in the way, and just like it's a process of learning yourself. And it's a beautiful unfoldment, right? And I tell people that I meet with, I'm like, I get as much healing out of this as you do when I give you this reading. Because it's just pure love coming through from, it's never a message of anything but love. If it's anything but love, it is not a message from spirit.
Ooh, that's important to double
Yes.
click on.
Yeah. Like, and I always tell people, take it for checking. If it doesn't resonate in your heart, it's not for you. Right. And like, if it's anything but love, throw it out.
I love that.
Predictions of like doom and gloom in the future and the things like that, it is hooey. And I can't say that emphatically enough. Right. So I don't get in too much to future prediction. I may be like, hey, maybe just like check on that flight, like maybe there's another one. I very rarely even see things like that.
Okay.
But it's all positivity. It's all in love. So.
Wow. So this started as like anxiety, which then was the door to how sensitive energetically you were and intuitive you were, which has now you've been growing these skills, has evolved into full-blown mediumship. Let's call it what it is.
That is. Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah. Because I feel like you said the word the other day, coming out of the spiritual closet. And I'm like, whatever you want to call it, but the worldly term for people to know what it is, it's mediumship.
Which means, tell the people.
It is, I can perceive communication from people who have passed on to another frequency, who are dead.
Wow. Yes. Yeah.
Their body's dead, not their spirit, of course.
Their spirit lives. Well, and I feel like, for me anyways, that is so comforting to meet people that I can feel in their energy are coming from a good place. There's no bullshit. It is love. It is pure, real, raw experience to hear from those people that our loved ones are on the other side or a different frequency or our souls live on, all this stuff. Like, I think we're all searching for those answers. And when I've had the like honor of connecting with multiple people that I just know, like I know, like this is so real and true.
Yeah.
And it gives me so much comfort.
That's awesome.
And it eases so much anxiety. It's like we don't have to have anything figured out. Yes. Everything is unfolding for us.
Yes.
And so for me, it's just been like, it's just helped me chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in my journey of like letting go of control and releasing perfectionism, it's like, dude, we're good. We're golden. Just keep showing up with my heart and like keep revealing who I really am.
Yes.
And I'm held. We're good. We got this. It's just like lessons are blessings built on top of each other. So
there's no becoming.
Yeah. Oh, we already are.
We already are.
We already are.
Yeah. We uncover instead of become.
Yes. Right? We reveal.
We reveal. And it's lovely. It's like the blooming of a flower. I told you, I've seen that. It's like the blooming of these beautiful flowers. And like the flower was always fully flower the whole time. It just happened to bloom, right? Ooh. Because it's been uncovered.
Oh.
And I think this idea of scraping to become is a very Western idea. And it's a infringement on our soul, and so I think that I feel like this is happening a lot in the world right now. We're all coming back to this more gentle nature that we really are, and it's healing, right?
Yeah,
but not any less strong. So
yes.
And there's some it gives me chills because that like synchronous with the notes I have for you, which it's just so beautiful, right? I feel like right now this unfoldment is happening in me and reflected in everything around me simultaneously. And how lovely is that?
Oh, it's ridiculous.
What a fun experience.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think once you start to learn how to play with it, though, it can be a little freaky, or a lot of people are just, they don't have the awareness yet that that's how it works.
Right. Thank you for saying that. There are certain people who, and it's okay, no hate toward anyone. There are people who operate with the psychic or mediumship gifting who are not yet aware of their true spiritual nature. And they're just operating from the gifting. And I'm not saying they're dangerous because I've not had that experience, but I would say that it's more powerful when you work with a psychic medium or any spiritual person for that matter, in any whatever part of this industry, I guess, who knows who they really are. Their true nature, right? If you're just operating from the gifting of like, I have this gift and nobody else has it, it feels a little, then I feel like maybe the messages may come out warped, right?
Yes.
So we all have this
Yes.
gifting. It's just
Oh.
about tuning in, right? So I don't have any message. I don't have any ability that somebody else doesn't have. It may express through me uniquely, but it will also express through you in an equally beautiful way that's unique to yourself, right? So,
yeah. Yeah, I feel like the more healing I do, the more shedding and like coming back to self and true nature, the stronger and more powerful my intuition is.
Isn't that funny?
And the more connected I feel to fucking everything.
Everything.
Everything gives me the goosebumps. Any and everything gives me the. I'm just like, everything feels so alive all the time.
Because it's all you.
Yeah, well, it's like the mirroring, right? Yeah, it's like we're breathing and mirroring back to each other for sure.
So cool.
All right, so you guys, I'm so grateful because Ashley has agreed to give me a reading here and now live. To be in her gift, and just because I want to hear more and I want to hear what's been coming through you for me so that I can be the healthiest and most whole version of myself. So shall we get into it?
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Oh my gosh, this is so cool. And guys, like I said to Brooke right before we got started, like what an amazing gift that you guys get to see this for her, right? Like her just openness and having this reading come through in front of everybody, which is absolutely amazing. And of course, it's all love.
It's all love. Although I didn't bring my tissues. I should have got my tissues.
Oh, that's a good point.
That's all right. I'll just blow snot bubbles on my
just be
sweater.
Super authentic, right?
It's unperfected. I think
that's right.
We'll be all right. We'll be all right.
It's on brand. I love
that. It's on brand.
Oh my God, that's so funny. I'll tell you a story afterwards about on brand.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
Perfect.
Okay, so I always start, and anybody who's watching this, when you go get a reading from somebody, the more your guard is lowered, the better reading you're going to get, right? Like, I want everybody to know, it's not like if I ever see you or you ever see somebody else, a psychic medium, and you're like, don't come into my head. Like, no, it's not like, if you have things that are private, I can't just like barge in and be like, what's going on in here? Let me say this, like that's not how it works. Also, I don't want to do that. But if it's something that's out in the open, or your guard is down with me, I can perceive it, right? And so I tend to pick up when people are looking for houses. I tend to pick up when people are pregnant because it's right out in the ether, right? You can just pick it up, right? Yeah. But if it's something that's private to you and your guard's up and you want a medium or a psychic to tell you more about it, you need to be open. So what I typically do when I first get started is spend just a few seconds kind of tuning into spirit, and I'll extend my energy to you and just ask your permission to connect there.
Okay.
And we'll just kind of ask and intend that spirit bring forth the best and highest good.
Best and highest good.
Everybody, and especially you in this reading since it's yours. So
beautiful.
So let's just kind of go within and take a couple breaths, or however you like to tune in.
I do like to breathe.
Yeah, and while you're doing that, I'm just going to kind of extend my energy to you, and I'm asking a permission. She's already there. I love it. Thank you. In spirit, we just intend, again, that the best and highest good come through for Brooke, her business, and for her family, and herself, and her future, and for the merging that we're going to talk about today, which is beautiful. So really cool. All right. So there will be times when I ask for confirmation. Certain people are like, don't look at me and don't say anything. We can interact. It's totally fine. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
I will kind of say, here's what I'm sensing. Does that resonate? If I am wrong, we're just going to table it and keep going.
Okay.
So what I typically do is I tune into your energy for a little bit beforehand. You're super open, so that's kind of why the stuff's been flooding in all weekend. I told her, I was like, Brooke, I like been pausing my weekend and being like, hold on, notes, Brooke.
So she knew the reading was coming this weekend. Apparently, she's just been flooded with information.
It's been great.
Sorry about that.
No, I love it. The other thing that's so wonderful about operating in this is like when I give people a message, the love that comes through from, the other side or whatever you want to call it, it's just another frequency, higher frequency. It's so loving that it's so healing for me, and the messages come through. So I get as much healing as the person who is receiving the message. So yeah, it's
beautiful.
Awesome. Okay, so the first note I have here, and I starred this, it's the sense of like waiting for someone to show up for you throughout life, right? And it's cool because it's you, right? You were the one
You're the
showing up for
hero.
you. Yeah, and you've known that. But I think you're coming into an experience of that. And I think it's just going to reflect back to you in so many beautiful ways moving forward. I think that's been a big frustration for you and a big generation of heartbreak in your life. It's just kind of this like waiting for somebody to show up for me. You show up for everybody else. When is somebody going to show up for me? And it's not this like self-pity thing at all.
Yeah.
It's spirit saying exhaustion. That's the word associated with it, right?
Yeah.
Like, and it's
And
not
disappointment.
Yeah, like you're not resentful of the people that you've given to, certainly. Maybe there are some people, but like
And I was like, well, there's actually some
Let's
keep it real. Let's keep it real.
We'll worry about those assholes. No, I'm
just kidding. Yeah, there's definitely some resentment, but for sure.
You know that it's all been needed for them, right?
Yes.
I think that's been like, you have always put the mission first of loving people, albeit it's exhausting for you. But it's beautiful because now this time of like serving yourself, which is the most important thing you could ever do. I'm getting that like your daughter's watching you do that right now, and it's beautiful, right? It's amazing for her to see that, right? Yeah, it's so important to like mothers, your little girls need to see you taking care of yourself, right? Okay, this Nana person.
This what?
This Nana person.
Nana came back?
Nana came back. Nana's, so I want you to know, let me back up and say, Brooke has a contingent of people here for her.
I got a posse. I got a squad. I call them my spirit squad.
They're amazing.
I got a squad.
They're a squad, and they are loud and proud and amazing.
I'm not surprised.
And they cheer. The first thing they did was come through and cheer for you, right?
Really?
That was one of the first messages I got.
Yeah.
And just like loud energy, but so loving. And they are here for you because this is a transition period of life for you right now.
Wow.
Which is really awesome.
Wow.
And you're still equally strong to do all the things you've been doing. You know that. But like transition periods, we level up all the time. I feel like you're leveling up over and over and over again, like very rapidly.
Yeah.
It's almost weekly. New things are coming to you and you are almost like you're evolving weekly.
Yes.
Which is really amazing. But Nana, I know this lady, this woman who was like special to you when you were a little child. The word Brookie came to me. I don't know if that was something she called you.
That was my nickname growing up.
And so, of course, it's not too hard to pick that up, right? It's Brooke, pretty much Brookie. But I just see this little blonde girl. She came to my awareness. And she came to me as a tomboy a little bit and just ready to take on the friggin' world. Like I get this energy from her. The word wounded warrior came up. And there's a period of healing you are going through and about to continue to go through.
Yeah.
And Nana said she's here to protect you during this time.
Oh, I love that.
So you can relax.
Oh, I love that.
So you can just kind of rest and let that come through.
Okay.
Yeah, this wounded warrior is a theme. So this is a theme I want to focus on here as we go through this reading. And I know you know this, but there's strength in the vulnerability, and that is what you're doing for these amazing women you work with. And how beautiful that you're also going through the same journey yourself.
Yes.
Simultaneously.
Yes.
And so you can live it while you're leading others walking through it.
Yes.
There's no worries about leading people through it while you're going through it. You don't have to like worry that that's not something you can do, right?
Totally.
I don't know if that resonates for you or not.
It does.
The word sleeping beauty.
Sleeping beauty. Snoring beauty.
Snoring beauty. But I get that like rest is really important for you right now.
Okay.
And you know when you need to rest, but I feel like it's just this time of kind of peacefulness during a healing process for you. And it's going to emerge beautifully on the other side with so many amazing talents that you already know you have that are already expressing, but just even more so. Okay. I don't know what this means. You may know.
Okay.
This note says, what's dormant will erupt again. I don't know if that has anything to do resonating with you. Just noodle that. And Nana is giving you a cheers for that. So think about that.
Okay.
So this little girl came back to me. Very curious energy. I get the impression that you took on the boys a lot when you were little. Yep. I see you flexing your muscles. It's so cute. This like little girl. She's just like,
and the little
fearless.
girl's me, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flexing her muscles. She's powerful. And then also, I'm going to skip to this really quick. I saw, I don't know if you had these at all, but Spirit showed me these lace-up tennis shoes that like with colored laces. Did you have colored shoelaces ever?
I'm sure I did.
Sure you
though.
did.
It was the 80s. I'm sure I did.
Anyway, maybe that's just part of her loud and proudness. She just was like this beautiful tomboy, very curious and just very tough always. I feel like that is associated with this wounded warrior. Okay.
Yeah, like came out tough and felt like I had to be the whole time. And still now.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's going to be something we talk about. It's always correlated. Interestingly enough, I see that in every female that has an issue with a mom relationship, they have a food issue or stomach issue.
Wow.
Or food allergy.
Wow.
It's like very common. So I'm just going to skip to that note really quick. I typically do that. There's a food you gave up and Spirit wants to reconcile that. Even if you still are going to give it up.
Yeah.
Spirit wants to help you be free of it.
Oh.
Whatever it is, even if you remain given up with it.
Okay.
Right? So now we go to you now.
Okay.
It's all now, right?
Yep.
But something about you're embracing something about yourself. And that's allowing you to flow in a whole new way. I don't know if that is resonating with you.
Yeah.
I know that's one of the original messages I sent to you.
Yeah.
Now, this part may be a little personal. Something about a different type of relationship you want in your life is connected to that.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Okay.
And you can share whatever you want about that or nothing. Totally fine. I just see explosions in your life in a good way. Fireworks.
Yay.
As a result of this embracing. What I'm seeing is that as you embrace this part of yourself, it's just like opening up a whole wing of yourself that's there. And it's like this beautiful gifting area that's connected with this, right? Maybe not directly, but it's like embracing this, whatever it is just going to allow you to experience yourself more fully.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering how that, because I feel like the thing that I'm embracing about myself is my intuition and my spiritual connectedness and just my superpowers that are related to my intensity that I've shamed my entire life. And how that relates to a change in relationship.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you have any more information on that.
Let me think.
Okay. Like I'm certainly open to share that I'm craving more intimacy in my marriage and we're going through some stuff right now.
Yeah.
But I'm almost wondering if it's my relationship with myself.
Yeah.
That's what it's feeling more like for me.
I think that take it how it resonates. But I think that like what Spirit's trying to say to me is like, there's been something you've been kind of like almost afraid to admit about yourself.
Okay.
In relation to this.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means specifically. It may unfold for you, but I feel like it's almost like Spirit saying dirty secret. And I don't think that it's dirty, but it's like one of those things that you're kind of like not admitting to yourself.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if that resonates at all.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
So it could be a couple of the shame behaviors that I have. Well, or I wonder if it's tied to how I've quit drinking and started to accept that addiction part of myself and started to love on that part and heal that. And like, that's the thing I've been giving up and that's the thing I've been facing and that's the thing I've been overcoming and working through. But it does feel like a dirty little secret, even though it's not totally a secret, because I'm like open and out about how I knew I was on the wrong path because I was drinking too much, eating too much, and spending too much. But in like outside from the people that are really in my sphere and know that, like it does feel like it's a dirty little secret, right? You're a person who helps people heal and you have this very similar struggles that everyone else has. So it can feel shame-based. But I also wondering if it's just the shame around the intense emotions that I'm learning to ride and navigate because they're actually like clues.
Yeah.
So
they're part of you. right?
Yeah.
And like, so I'm getting this image of a mountain, and I heard this near death experience. This lady was saying, you have the faith to move a mountain, but you don't need to move the mountain. The mountain's there for a reason. And so this
Mm-hmm.
big part of your personality, it's not
Mm.
like it's not something to overcome.
Mm.
It's something to embrace,
Yeah.
and it's something that's part of you, not as an expression of a wound. It is who you are, and you can integrate that. There's a
Yeah.
merging that's taking place.
Awesome.
And that's the word I keep getting, is this merging term, right?
Yes. Okay.
And so let's keep going on that, because
Yes.
some of this, more of these notes apply here. So
Okay.
family is here to usher you in this new version of you. Version of you is what I
Well.
get.
Okay.
I don't know if that is kind of something you've been experiencing, as a new version of yourself,
Oh
right?
yeah. Yeah. I went through a massive transformation last year.
So cool.
I still am in it.
Yeah.
It's like but last year was the year that shit just like popped off. I mean, I like quit drinking. I lost 45 pounds. I healed my gut. I started stepping into all my intuitive gifts. I started leveling the fuck up as a person, as a leader, in my business. Like everything is just went, psh, and now I'm just like going,
So good.
going. Yeah.
Meteoric
Yeah.
success.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like facing the sabotage was everything for me. It was like I would just sabotage and then have shame. And then once I like made peace with my sabotage and started to make healthier choices with it, now I feel like I'm fucking unstoppable.
Yes.
But that used to be the thing that would keep me playing small because I had shame around it. It was like a dirty little secret. I have this big thing that I sabotage, or I have this big way that I sabotage. And so for me, it was like, well, let's fucking do something about it for once and for all. Like, put the wine down for a year. Your stomach is saying no, spirit is saying no, everything is saying no, your mental health is saying no. I put that down, and then suddenly a lot of things started getting a lot more clear for me.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I think that is kind of what's exploding, is these fireworks, right? It's just like this ability to experience more of yourself in that transformation. But I feel like also there's still an unfolding that's taking place with it, right? Like,
that's exciting.
This word identity.
Mm-hmm.
You had an identity ingrained in toughness.
Mm-hmm.
Your identity was ingrained in doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept getting this word identity. There's this like searchingness about it a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not that you don't know who you are. That's not the case.
No.
It's more just like, in this time of transformation, it says rebrand.
Ooh.
And it was like super caps, exclamation point, rebrand, right?
Wow. Yes.
In terms of like who you want to show up as.
Yes. Did you see on my desk right over there, I have a handout for an identity training that I'm leading this
really?
week?
That's probably why.
Well, I've been going through a ton of personal identity work, and what it's doing for me, that I've written a training for a company that I'm delivering on Thursday and Friday.
That's amazing.
That's identity work. And so I literally have a handout on the desk right over there. It's identity. Mm-hmm. So identity is huge in my world right now. Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. And I love that you're experiencing it with your clients at the same time.
Yep.
It's real.
It's real.
This isn't just freaking content, you guys. This is real. This is experiential.
Yes. Well, that's why it's so purposeful.
Yeah.
Right? We're just like living and then teaching and living and teaching and bringing people with us and living and bringing people with us. But yeah, identity is huge. Like, I used to just be the like, do it all, do everything, fake perfect mask, be resentful, sabotage, double down on the efforting and the proving.
Oh yeah.
Be exhausted, all that. And then like the fun party girl. And it's just like, I'm outgrowing all of those. It feels like I'm literally outgrowing every identity I've ever fucking had, except for like my true nature, which is just like playfulness and silliness and love and inspiration and who I really am. But all the other parts are falling away, and it's wild because it's a little scary, but it's also exciting because it's like, well, those were all protective mechanisms, survival mechanisms.
Right.
And now I get to like continue to reveal who I really am. But it is also a little scary because I feel like I'm just this huge fucking ball of energy.
Which is so great. And you know what's so cool is like, when you think about people you love is like, and the weirdness that they are and kind of the perceived annoying things. So that's what makes you love them.
Yeah.
Right. And that's this
Yes.
becoming and this merging. I think that that's what's coming out. I literally wrote down here softer side unfolding and merging. And
Yes.
as I was writing this, I don't
Yeah.
know if you remember that jingle from Sears, come see the softer side of Sears.
Oh my
For
God,
some
no, but
reason.
we used to shop Sears and do all of our family picture at
Did you?
Sears. Yes, I love me some Sears, bro. This no, but I've also, yeah, like that was the beginning of last year as well, and I'm still in it, exploring my feminine nature and my feminine energy because I was in my masculine my whole life,
Whole
and that's
life.
why I
Yeah.
was so exhausted.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Same.
yeah,
So here's what's interesting. In the last few days, this has come in an experience to me. So this is called the Kundalini awakening, right? So like the masculine is the Shiva, the feminine is the Shakti. So the masculine is the consciousness of all consciousness, eternal. The Shakti is the feminine, that is the temporal. It is the energy, it is the intention, right?
mm-hmm.
And so the combination of the two, typically the Shakti is expressed in the Kundalini of the individual person, which makes us so unique. That energy that comes through only as Brooke.
Mm-hmm.
And the merging of the feminine and the masculine is where that true
Nature,
uniqueness comes out, or your true nature.
yeah,
And that is the blooming. That is the
yes,
unfolding of your true self. And so this masculine's always been there, right? And that's great. Tough Brooke is awesome,
mm-hmm.
but she can rest now, right? And the
Yes,
feminine coming in and expressing itself in a really unique way is going to add so much joy and abundance to your business while simultaneously allowing you to rest more.
wow, yes, yes, and yes, please, yes, thank you,
Yes,
yes,
thank you.
thank you,
And I
yes,
feel like
thank you,
you know
Spirit.
this intellectually, but now you're going to be experiencing it. There's going to be
Yes,
some experience of this. So I'm going to read the rest of these notes and then I'm just going to tune in and free flow with what Spirit's saying.
okay.
There's an ant on the other side. Is there an ant on the other side? Or somebody connected it as an ant?
No.
Maybe if I describe her, you'll know who she is.
Okay.
She literally comes through as stuck up, grouchy, negative. Like literally, I saw her nose up in the air like that. She says she wasted time in that,
In what?
and being stuck up like that, and so grouchy and
Oh.
so negative,
Oh my gosh.
and said something about you were right.
Mm.
So just noodle that.
Who passed that was stuck up?
I get the feeling it was like it could have been like mom's friend, or even I don't know, somebody that was like older than you. But
Yeah, yeah. There was one of my mom's friends growing up that was the first thing that came to my mind, but I don't know if she's dead or alive.
oh, okay. Well, she may be.
She might be. Yeah, it's been a long time.
So there you go.
Okay.
Just noodle that.
Okay.
Okay. And then there's a lot of anger going on right now. So we were talking on the break about just I see reconciliation happening all around me in life, and it's really cool. It's the grandma person, and I'm saying this gently. Something you're holding on to regarding the situation is she's just like Brooke, put it down.
Mm.
You're holding on to something that you just need
Okay.
to put it down. I don't know
Okay.
what that means for you
Okay. Okay.
in these conversations that are happening, but
Mm-hmm.
like there's a not wanting to be wrong a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yep.
Your sister is very connected spiritually. She may not be on the other side, but she's very connected spiritually. And I feel like
Oh.
she's part of this group, regardless of if she's on the other side or not,
Whoa.
which is really cool.
That's so cool.
What they're saying right now is it's okay to be unproductive for a period of time.
Oh. How
If
do we do
if
that?
that is, it's not that you won't be making money,
Yeah.
but it's the sense of like, really, it's okay for
More
that.
play, like more rest, more play.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's going to feel super foreign to you.
I feel like I'm already doing it so much more than I've ever done it. They're telling
Good.
me keep going,
Keep
double
going.
down.
Yeah, just
Okay.
keep going. Just and to the extent that like feels normal and natural, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
all unnatural, but you're going to know what the boundary is on that, right?
Yep.
And they're just saying it's okay. So when you get that anxiety feeling of like I should be,
Doing more.
it's the shoulding on yourself.
Mm.
That is the problem.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're producing from the environment of should is where
Mm.
things get wacky.
Yes.
I don't know if Nana and Grandma knew each other, But there's just like this friendship that they're coming over from the other side with.
Mm.
This little girl is coming back to me again.
Mm-hmm.
And I see the unperfected logo, but I see the word unprotected for her.
That's
Was
my
there
biggest wound.
Okay. Was there an incident that happened there?
Multiple incidents.
Okay.
That's where all the anger comes from.
Okay.
The not being protected. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's also the thing that I probably need to put down and let more masculine in to protect me now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's been a theme of things I've been seeing lately.
Yeah.
It's just like this allowing.
Yeah.
And
and knowing like you're always protected and I got me. That's been a big realization lately is like we started the reading and you were saying you've always been waiting for someone. That's so I've been just waiting for the hero, right? And then when you realize the big ugly truth that like no one's coming and you got you, you actually got you.
You're the hero.
You're the hero and you got you and you're always protected and held spirit by spirit. Now it's like forgiving those hurts where I felt I wasn't protected along the way and then allowing different forms of protection to come in now, which is foreign to me too.
And I get the sense that like perhaps there's been a lot of resistance to the protection.
Yes.
That has been coming in.
Yeah, because I'm like, no one's as strong as me. Who's going to protect me?
So they've shied back, right?
Yeah.
And they're saying, let him do it his way.
Oh God.
So there's that.
Okay, that's hold on. That is wild. Because I think it was this morning. Was it this morning? God, sometimes when I know that I'm like out there in visualization, like playing in different frequencies and fields, I can't remember the timeline of when I was frolicking and having these awakenings. Like, was this morning? Was this yesterday?
Right.
I really can't.
Totally.
I don't want to waste everyone's time by trying to figure it out, but it was either this morning or yesterday. I was having this realization that my husband, oh my God, it is even tied to protection. Like this thing that he usually does that really irritates me, where he like focuses on what feels like the wrong thing and he gets like negative about it and he wants to know more about it. And he's like, he leans to no before yes, you know? And I had this realization that that's his way of protecting me, is to be like, well, have you considered this? Have you considered that? What about that? And I'm like, but that's how he's doing it. Like what I think is just his anxious mind is him making sure things are just right. So checking I'm good. Yeah. And I was like, what would happen in my relationship if I chose to see it that way?
Interesting.
Instead of seeing it as he's just, poo-pooing in my Cheerios, he's actually, that's his way of like assessing if things are safe and good for me. And that's his way of showing that. And all I've done is put that down for 20 years.
And now you can see the beauty of that.
And
that's
now
him doing it his way.
That's him doing it his way. And when he's been trying, but I've been putting it down, and then he's not trying harder, which why would anybody?
Right.
I'm like, where's my masculine? I can now see my role in all of that. You know,
why do I need to be here? You're here.
Yeah, exactly. Like no one is going to be tough. He's literally said, like, no one is going to be tougher than you.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. It's going to make me cry. I just see this little girl putting down her shield and her sword.
What?
Just lay it down.
Yeah.
Oh.
That is like life-changing.
It's an energetic shift, huh?
Yeah. Yes. It's like, what am there's nothing that I need to protect myself from anymore that I can't handle anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
And you're asking like, who am I without that?
Yeah. Oh God.
Right. And the identity is the merging of the masculine and the feminine. And it's going to unfold you in a beautiful way. You already know it, but like, yeah, there's this sense of like, I literally don't know who I am without this
armor.
Yeah.
I don't.
This is why this has been coming to me all weekend. There's no becoming. She's always been there, right? And the letting down of the guard and the allowing of the flow will just allow it to be there, right? She's there perfect, and she blooms when she needs to. There's no forced vulnerability, right? The flower blooms when it needs to in its time, and there's a preciousness about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like a precious stone.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for everybody, right?
Mm-hmm. 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 Oh my God. Yeah.
They're saying to me that there's been a perception of that as weakness.
That what is weakness?
Like just allowing this feminine nature. You've kind of, and it's okay, there's no judgment, but you've almost had kind of like a looking down on that of other people.
Yeah.
Like women who can't.
Yeah.
You're just kind of like, get up.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And just when I say forgive, it's just a letting go. Forgive that for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Right. In the looking down on them of that, there's a participation in it. And there's like an equal wound back to you.
Yes.
When that's happened. Right.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Is that related to mom?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all connected there.
Yeah.
Okay. Does she know that?
No.
Does she feel that from you maybe?
Probably. I'm sure.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just connecting to something. I feel like something else is coming through related to your dad. And like, we don't need to go excavating through the past. It's not important. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. But like, somehow I sense some disappointment. I don't know if it's from you to him, mm-hmm. from her to him, to him somehow, mm-hmm. at him somehow. Mm-hmm. This is like a theme. Mm-hmm. I see this as like a theme that you've been carrying around in life. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that resonates with men. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're just constantly disappointing you. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
At work. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And in the forgiveness of that in yourself, it releases them too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's just healing for everybody.
Yeah.
I see reverberation of the healing back and forth.
I love that.
Yeah. It's a beautiful time of healing for everybody. Sets everybody free. Oh, you'll help here too. Yeah, with dad. Yeah. Just this failure. Was that an identity he carried? A failure identity?
I think so.
Yeah. We all do to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I sense that from him. Like this, that's the, we'll send him some love after this, some healing love about that.
Okay. Yes.
Just this burden of failure.
Oh.
Right? And that's a theme that has been kind of carried through. I really do see that it's been released though. Nice. For you. And it's just it's an unfolding, right? It's it's gentle.
Okay.
Right? And like, I feel it. I feel you, what you're saying. You're just like, fuck, I just want to be done with this. Like, get it off of me so I can just finally move on.
Yeah.
Tired of it.
Yes. I'm ready to put it all down.
Yeah. And like your ability to be so awesome and powerful has it kind of like feeling a little forceful, but it's going to go gently.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean slowly.
Okay.
I think for strong women, gentle is sometimes synonymous with weak and slow.
Yeah.
And unproductive.
Yeah.
It is the opposite. Spirit is showing me the rock, I don't know what it is, the geode. On one side, it's like,
yeah,
mousy.
Crunchy. Yeah.
Yeah. On the other side, it's lovely.
Yeah.
Right. And so what was previously thought of as weak and mousy is on the other side beautiful.
Oh,
and constantly unfolding, right?
Yes.
And beautiful, and it reflects light in different ways at different times. And I just see that beautiful unfoldment of this merging of these two energies for you. All right, what else does Spirit want to say? We'll get any last words. Do you have any questions?
Oh man, no, I'm just like
flowing in it.
Yeah, and I'm piecing so many things together. I mean, just with the merging and the masculine and the feminine and the putting down the protector and the making peace with that and all of it.
Oh my God. I think by ushering in and allowing these men to come in and sit down, that has been emerging. Just by allowing these spirit guides to come through and sit at your table.
Yes.
And sit at your council.
Yes.
That has been a huge thing that we just did today.
Oh,
just like
so they weren't before, but now that we've actually welcomed them in, they are now.
I feel like they are now. Previously, I didn't feel any men that were present.
Yeah.
I usually feel some sort of family members or something, but yeah, I just feel like that's a symbol. Just a symbol of the masculine and feminine merging.
Yes.
Which is And when people hear that, they're gonna be like, "What are you talking about?" It's all it is we all have masculine and feminine in us. It's just the completion of ourself and the finally coming home to who we've been.
The integration too.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's like somewhere along the way we harden if we've been through some shit, and not everyone's journey is different, but for me, I'll speak for me, like things happen and you harden, and so then I overuse my masculine to protect myself,
right,
and to be okay and to be enough forever and ever. And so I just atrophied my feminine. It's always still there, it's always been there, but now I'm softening the masculine so that I can allow that feminine to flow, so I can be in more harmony with the wholeness of who I am.
Yes.
And when I'm not so busy forcing and exhausting myself and protecting myself, what I get to allow into my life, I just can't wait to see what that is.
It's lovely.
It's lovely.
It's synonymous with these blooms. Right?
Yes.
It's seemingly fragile, but not.
Mm-hmm.
You think about a little flower blooming. And I'm beginning this image a lot. The flower comes out of the ground and it's so vulnerable. It's this little sprout. And it's showing its little light, you know? But in the same time, it's incredibly strong to do that, and its roots grow deep, right? In order for it to bloom like that, the roots have gone down. They've grown. They've established. And now it's just showcasing itself. And so what you see up top is just a byproduct of what's already been done below, right? So which is so beautiful. Yeah, let's see what else they have to say. I think that's the big theme, right? And I think you've known that. They're cheering, which is really cool. Somebody has a rolling pin and then they're like bonking you on the head with it. Like, finally, she's getting it. Like, this is great. In the best way, right? Like, I see these women are so funny. They're loud and proud and I love them. I don't know if they cook or anything like that, but that's just what's coming through.
My grandmother did.
Yeah. That's good. Oh. Yeah. Things may come up as we finish and go on, but yeah.
Beautiful.
I hope this resonated with you.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes objects come through, things like that. Sometimes not. Sometimes just themes of messages come through, right?
Yeah. So. Yeah. It's so cool to just like be on this journey that's very personal and introspective, but it's also like the biggest thing in my life, right? And then to have somebody who knows nothing about that to come in and just mirror, like, yes, you're on the right path, keep doing this, keep unfolding, keep not becoming but blooming, and keep like coming home to yourself and integrating. But there were like several messages that it's just like uncanny that like with the identity stuff and the protector and all that stuff. So
unprotected. Interesting.
Unprotected. Yeah, that protector wound is like the root of all my pain and suffering.
That is it.
That is it. No one's gonna protect me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one I'm working on right now.
Well, we'll do, when we get off camera, we'll do some Reiki about that too.
Ooh,
which is cool. I feel it here.
You feel it in the
just solar plexus area, right? Just not solar plexus, sacral. Yeah.
Sacral. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Oh my gosh,
girl. Thank you.
Thank you. This
and
is so nice.
Thank you for sharing your gift with the world. And how can the beautiful listener, if they're curious about you and your work, or...
I'm so bad about that.
I'm not.
She's like, Brooke's got all the ideas with the business.
Yeah, I'm like, girl, we need to get you. Tell the people how they can connect with you.
Yep. So my YouTube is at Ashley Douglas, and I typically just share thoughts and pontification about spirituality matters there. If you'd like to book a session with me, I help people just kind of see into their own self. My website is seewithash.com. There's 3 different types of sessions on there. I do Reiki, I do kind of like mediumship and kind of psychic stuff as well. It's all the same. We all do it together. So just go to the website if you want to book a session. You can also email me at seewithash@gmail.com.
And we'll put all of that in the show notes. Cool. But she is available for readings. Yes. And sometimes it's just really beautiful to be supported in this realm. Yeah. For the stuff that we're navigating in the 3D that can feel really crunchy at times too.
Feels really dense, and we just need some confirmation.
That's right.
Am I on it?
That's right. That's right. That's right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Love it.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, babe, if you made it to this part of the show, I am so freaking happy for you. That means that you are dead serious about healing, revealing, and rising. And just by showing up for yourself in this way, you are sending a beautiful message to yourself and to the universe that you matter, that you are ready for more. And so don't be surprised if things start to flow your way. I would so appreciate it if you would rate and review the podcast on Apple and Spotify. The more reviews that we have, the more that it gets into the heads and hearts of more high-achieving, high-performing working mamas. Also, we love to get your feedback, so share with us what's landing. You can either DM me on Instagram, I'm at Brooke Jean unPerfected, or you can share a clip that really landed and tag me in it. I want this to be the most extraordinary co-creation where we are in this together, seeing what is possible for women worldwide. Thank you so much for being here. Take care of yourselves and therefore each other.